At least 4 people were reported dead and a known number of people were declared missing after a ferry carrying dozens of passengers sank in a river in Bangladesh. Anisa de Guzman has the news.
A heartbreaking tragedy struck Bangladesh overnight after a water bus carrying dozens of people on board overturned in the Buriganga River and claimed the lives of 4 people. The vessel was transporting passengers across the river when it was hit by a cargo vessel carrying sand. An estimated 50 to 60 people were on board when the incident took place on Sunday night. 8 people have been rescued and sent to hospitals. Rescue operations are ongoing in an effort to find the missing passengers. Maritime accidents are common in Bangladesh, with experts attributing the accidents to overcrowding, poor maintenance, and lax safety standards in shipyards. Riding boats is still common and a popular means of transportation in this South Asian country. In September of last year, another deadly incident struck after a boat full of Hindu devotees sank in the Karatoya River, killing 51 people. Di siya Anisa de Guzman, Ringan Chakuntep Mahanokon, SMNI News, Pratatay, Sawadika.
Saudi Arabia welcomed the Prime Minister of Japan as the East Asian country aims to boost ties with nations in the Middle East. Melchizedek Cadiz reports.
Assalamualaikum. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman welcomed Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida as his 3-nation tour of the Middle East begins. The Saudi Crown Prince received Kishida at Al Salam Palace in Jeddah. The 2 leaders discussed the means of collaboration between both countries and how to strengthen the Saudi-Japan Vision 2030. They also focused on means of cooperation in various sectors such as investment opportunities in a wide range of industries including clean energy, mining, healthcare, and digital technologies. Both sides are expected to agree on joint investments to develop rare earth resources. Kishida's Middle East tour started on Sunday in Saudi Arabia before traveling to the UAE and Qatar this week. More than 80% of Japan's total crude oil imports are sourced from Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Qatar. Japan aims to position itself as a reliable partner in the region as the East Asian economy depends on most of its energy imports from the Middle East. Barakallahu fikum jami'an, kan hada Melchizedek Cadiz sa akhbar SMNI Kuwait.
Meanwhile, a protester abandoned his plan to burn sacred books in Stockholm despite being granted permission by the Swedish police. RJ Perez has the news.
A man was expected to burn the Torah scroll in the Christian Bible outside the Israeli embassy in Stockholm during the weekend cancelled his controversial plan after receiving massive criticisms from top Israel officials and Jewish organizations. Speaking in both Arabic and Swedish, Ahmed Alush told the crowd he had never intended to burn the holy books, but instead denounced the burning of the sacred texts, such as the Quran in Sweden. The 32-year-old protester, who was also the organizer of the demonstration, said his real intention was to show the people that burning another Torah, Bible or Quran in a Nordic country is not right and will only lead to war. Sweden earned condemnation after the Swedish police granted a permit for the protester to burn the sacred text on Saturday. Holding public demonstrations in Sweden is strongly supported by the government and is protected by the constitution under the fundamental law on freedom of expression. But the Swedish police pointed out there is no law prohibiting the burning of holy books, but the police can refuse to allow a demonstration if it jeopardizes public safety or incite racial hatred. Meanwhile, the Muslim community of Malmö, Sweden, gathered at the city's main square last week to protest against the Quran burnings in the Nordic country. This has been RJ Perez reporting, SMNI News.
The Black Sea grain deal brokered by the United Nations and Turkey for Ukraine and Russia is set to expire on July 18th, with the UN and Ankara hopeful that it will be extended again. However, all hopes are dashed after Moscow announced its termination over alleged non-compliance by other parties. Russia quitting the deal will lead to a potential blow to the global food economy as wheat and corn prices and global commodities markets jumped on Monday after Moscow made their announcement. The Black Sea grain deal allows the export of grain from Ukraine, and the collapse of the pact threatens to push up food prices for consumers worldwide and tip millions into hunger. Trading data showed that August futures on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange rose 4.24% to $6.89 a bushel within minutes after the news broke out. The increase somewhat subsided later, with the futures trading up 2.9% around 11:30 GMT. Corn and soybeans futures also saw increases. This also happened after Moscow earlier on Monday notified Ukraine, Turkey, and the UN Secretariat of its refusal to extend the Black Sea grain deal, guaranteeing a safe trade corridor for vessels to export Ukrainian grain out of Black Sea ports. Russia pulling out of the deal means that it will no longer provide security guarantees for civilian vessels traveling the exempted corridor of the Black Sea. According to Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov, Moscow will return to the deal once all parties concerned implement the previously agreed steps. Part of what the concerned parties agreed is for Russia's connection to major agricultural lender Roselko's bank to the SWIFT payment system and lifting Western sanctions that pose problems for the insurance and logistics of Russian cargo. But Russia said no progress has been made regarding their benefits from the deal. Prior to the termination, Russian President Vladimir Putin has repeatedly warned he will suspend Moscow's participation and described that the Black Sea grain deal was a one-sided game all along.